You have been feeling it for a while now, haven't you? Something around you is different. Not loud, not obvious, just different. The air feels heavier in certain moments. Some places no longer comfort you the way they used to. Some conversations leave your chest strangely tired. And even when nothing seems wrong on the surface, deep inside, something keeps whispering that a shift is happening around you. You try to ignore it sometimes. You tell yourself you are overthinking. But the feeling keeps returning when the world becomes quiet enough for you to hear yourself again. Maybe you noticed how certain people suddenly feel distant, even when they're sitting right beside you. Maybe your heart no longer reacts to the same things that once consumed your attention. The noise, the chasing, the endless pressure to prove yourself. It all feels strangely empty now. And that can be unsettling, because when your energy changes, your entire connection to life begins changing too. The things that once distracted you lose their grip. The things you tolerated begin to exhaust you. And slowly, quietly, your soul starts asking for something more honest. You are not becoming cold. You are becoming aware. There's a difference. Sometimes people think growth always feels inspiring and beautiful. But real transformation often feels lonely at first. It feels confusing. It feels like standing between two versions of yourself without fully belonging to either one. One part of you still remembers who you used to be. The other part is slowly waking up into someone new. And in that space between the old and the new, your energy begins shifting in ways you cannot always explain. That is why your intuition has become louder lately. That is why your body reacts differently now. You notice tension faster. You feel fake energy immediately. You sense when someone's words do not match their heart. Before, you ignored these feelings. You silenced them because you wanted peace. You wanted calm. That is self-respect returning. And yes, growth changes your relationships. Growth changes your desires. Growth changes your tolerance. But most importantly, growth changes your relationship with yourself. You stop needing constant noise because you become comfortable hearing your own thoughts again. You stop forcing connections because loneliness no longer scares you the way self-betrayal does. You stop begging life to choose you because you finally begin choosing yourself. That is where your power has always been. Not in controlling others, not in being perfect, but in finally returning to yourself after years of emotional exhaustion. The beautiful thing is your energy is already guiding you. Even now, even in moments when you feel uncertain. Notice how your heart reacts when something is wrong. Notice how your body tightens around negativity. Notice how calm feels different now. Your spirit already knows what aligns with you and what does not. You're simply learning to trust it again. And trust takes time when you spent years doubting yourself. But slowly, your inner voice is becoming clearer than external noise. Slowly, your peace is becoming more important than approval. Slowly, you are realizing that protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary, because the truth is, not everything deserves access to your inner world anymore. Not every opinion matters. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Not every connection deserves your emotional presence. And the moment you fully understand that everything begins changing, the strange exhaustion begins making sense. The emotional distance begins making sense. The craving for solitude begins making sense. Your soul has simply outgrown environments that once kept you emotionally asleep. You are awakening now, quietly, deeply, irreversibly. And although part of you still fears change, another part of you already knows this transformation is leading somewhere beautiful. There was a time when you ignored your own spirit just to keep life moving. You woke up every day carrying invisible weight and called it normal. You smiled through exhaustion. You stayed available even when your heart needed rest. You kept giving your energy to people, places, and situations that slowly emptied you from the inside. And because you became so used to surviving that way, you almost forgot what peace was supposed to feel like. But something inside you could not stay asleep forever. That quiet discomfort you feel now is not random. It is your soul finally speaking after years of silence. And the reason it feels unfamiliar is because you spent so much of your life disconnected from your own emotional truth. You learned how to suppress, how to adapt, how to survive. But now your energy is asking for something deeper than survival. It wants alignment. It wants honesty. It wants a life that no longer requires you to betray yourself just to belong somewhere. You can feel this especially during quiet moments. Late at night, early in the morning, in between conversations. There is this strange awareness that follows you now. Almost like life is trying to show you something important. And even though you cannot fully explain it, your heart knows this shift is real. You are changing from the inside first. That is why the outside world suddenly feels unfamiliar. Sometimes transformation does not arrive like a dramatic storm. Sometimes it arrives softly, through emotional exhaustion, through detachment, through silence, through realizing that the things you once chased no longer satisfy you the same way. You begin craving depth instead of distraction, peace instead of chaos, presence instead of performance. And that can feel lonely, because not everyone will understand this version of you. Some people only feel comfortable with the version of you that ignored its own boundaries, the version that stayed quiet, the version that accepted less than it deserved. Part of a transformation, you are not becoming colder. You are becoming clearer, clearer about what hurts you, clearer about what nourishes your soul, clearer about the life you no longer want to live, the version underneath the expectations, the version underneath the fear of disappointing others, the version that simply wants peace without needing to earn it first. That version has always been there, waiting patiently beneath all the noise. And now, little by little, you are returning home to yourself. This is why your intuition feels stronger lately. You notice energy before words now. You can sense tension hiding behind smiles. You feel when something is emotionally unsafe, even if nobody says it out loud. That sensitivity is not weakness. It is awareness. Your spirit is no longer numbing itself to protect other people's comfort. You're finally listening to your inner world. And the more you listen, the more life begins changing around you. Some friendships may fade naturally. Some habits no longer feel right. Some dreams may even lose their emotional grip on you. That can feel frightening because humans naturally hold onto familiarity even when it hurts. But your soul understands something your fear does not yet fully trust. Not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes things fall apart because they can no longer grow with you. Sometimes endings are simply space being created for a more aligned version of your future. And yes, there will be moments where this transformation feels heavy. Moments where you question yourself. Moments where you miss older versions of your life simply because they felt familiar. But familiarity is not always peace. Sometimes familiarity is just repeated emotional survival. You are being guided beyond survival now, into awareness, into healing, into a quieter kind of strength. The kind of strength that no longer needs validation to feel worthy. The kind of strength that can walk away from what that is growth, quiet growth, sacred growth. The kind that happens internally before the world fully notices. And even though you may still be healing, you're no longer the same person you were before this shift began. There is more awareness in your eyes now, more depth in your silence, more honesty in the way you move through life. You're becoming someone who values inner peace more than external approval. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. So if things feel different around you lately, trust that feeling. If certain places feel heavier now, trust that feeling. If your soul keeps pulling you toward rest, reflection, and distance from negativity, trust that too. Your energy is not betraying you. It is guiding you. It is guiding you away from what drains your spirit, away from constant emotional noise, away from the versions of yourself built entirely around survival, and towards something softer, something calmer, something real. You do not need to have every answer right now. You do not need to force clarity overnight. Some transformations happen quietly over time, like sunrise slowly touching a dark room. Your only job right now is to listen, to breathe, to stop abandoning yourself whenever life becomes uncomfortable. Because this new energy surrounding you is not here to destroy you. It is here to awaken you. And one day, you will look back at this season of your life and realize something beautiful. The loneliness was not punishment. The distance was not failure. The emotional shifts were not signs that you were broken. They were signs that your soul had finally decided it deserved peace. And from that moment forward, everything began changing.